I know when I even first ran for office, people asked me, how will I do this work as a mom and a working mother? I've had people ask me questions about my race and ethnicity and question and apply discriminatory lenses towards me. I don't let it bother me. I think that my job is to work hard, to help my community, and to move forward. And I also know that people before me have experienced so much more in terms of disparities with less resources. And so I remind myself of that every day. And my job is to help other people, to let them know that don't doubt yourself. The world is going to do that. Believe in yourself, have confidence, and to know that you can.
I grew up in D.C., right? We didn't go to Rockville because it was known to be so racist. So to now have Hispanic Black woman as mayor is fabulous.
That's part of the journey I've been on. I think for me, it's about opening doors and bringing the lens to the table. It's not just being the first, but representing and bringing that lived experience so that you can bring to the table new conversations that perhaps were not there before. But I remember going to all kinds of institutions through my upbringing and my schooling and different places I was advocating and not seeing representation on the walls. And it can bring anxiety to a young person to say, do I belong here? One of the things I hope that more people will see is that we all belong here. We all have contributed to the history here. We can make it so that others can see themselves. Young little girls and boys and people from all walks of life can see that if you put in the work and you work hard, that you can make it here. I'm honored to be here, but I know that it comes with the important responsibility of helping other people so that more people feel included and represented.
Well, I know your position has always been sort of male-dominated and white-dominated, but I'm glad to see you here because you bring a human aspect to Rockville. Can you talk a little bit about how your lived experiences have influenced what you do?
I grew up in a community that didn't have a lot of resources growing up. I have at one time experienced a lot of pain and loss in my family early. I say that because I think it's important for us to share our own vulnerability. I tell some of the high school students that, I love Beyonce, but I did not wake up like this. It's been a journey for me. I've seen a lot, I've felt a lot. I've seen people in my community who've felt a lot. My mother died at the age of 45 of cancer. I grew up in a community where, many of us needed free and reduced meals or some sort of food assistance. I've been on WIC, I've been on TANF. That was very common from where I grew up. And so I saw a lot of disparities in education, in food and economic opportunity. And I cannot forget that because there are so many people where I come from who were very intelligent but didn't have opportunity in the same ways that others do. I recognize that there were some doors open and people who have helped me, my parents, my family, leaders who've helped me to become who I am today. But I can't forget what I've seen and what I've felt and what I know many communities are still experiencing, and that I carry very deeply within me. There is no population that is set in a way, right? It's condition and opportunity that can really help people thrive. And I know you know that very well in terms of your work with the school system, that, our job is to help everyone reach their highest potential. And I believe in that very deeply.
And you've been a true leader in Rockville because I came to the naming of the 5 streets, which to me, because Odessa Shannon was a hero of mine, to come and have a street named after her in Rockville was so important to me because I felt that Odessa was one of the people that pulled me up, but she always made sure that she pulled us up. So as a leader, tell me, how does that look to you?
We had a new community. Part wasn't already in Rockville, part annexed into the city. And at the time, there was some requests from the city, and I said, well, I have some requests too. And so we did some of the affordable housing aspects and discussions. Why not tell the stories of people who have helped build this community? And so it was an honor to work with them to recognize 5 Black educators, including Odessa Shannon and George B. Thomas and others, that there is a dedicated, firm commitment to telling those stories, to creating safe and welcoming places for all people.
Who has inspired you in your journey?
My mother, for sure. My mother died very young, and I didn't have many years with her, but the quality I have is incredible. She worked hard. She helped other people. I'll never forget the way she volunteered, even when it was unsafe for her to do so. Just a really kind soul. If I can be half the woman she was, I think that I will have made her proud. She also gave me a painting of Harriet Tubman, and I carry that today. She gave it to me when I was 17 years old. It's in my home still. That representation of that painting she gave me reminds me that Harriet Tubman moved forward in spite of fear. She had courage, and she didn't just save herself. She helped so many people because she knew, she saw, she experienced. And so I carry that with me today, because even though we have made great progress, there are things that are challenging us and trying to take us backwards, but we need to lead with courage and caring of other people.
You know, it's very interesting that your mother is very significant in your life, because my mother was very significant. And that significance related to what I do today, because for my mother, education was the way out. You know, she worked 40 years for the federal government and never got above a grade 4. And I know that was because she was a Black woman. No, she wasn't highly educated, but she was educated enough that she should have progressed beyond that point. So what does education mean to you?
My mother graduated high school. Among some parts of my family, I was one of the first to graduate from college. And it was difficult. I saw so many people not graduating high school, not because they weren't smart, but because their schools weren't safe, because they didn't have access to high-quality education. I just realized how important education is. I really admire the work that you have done to be a voice on the Board of Education, so that you can bring a lens and we can all work together. I think we still have a lot of work to do, but I think things are better, and I really appreciate so much of what you've done.
Well, I certainly agree with that, because I do believe the saying that education is a civil right. And having been a civil rights lawyer, I will continue to fight for access and opportunity in this county, because it is not evenly spread around.